Good afternoon. My name is David Orange. I attend Thomas University, and my presentation today will be proper procedures for transporting inmates. Today on the agenda, we will be discussing procedures of access and strive, inmate preparation, strip search of inmates, prepare transportation, obtain security chains, loading of inmates, obtaining weapons, driving safely, and professionalism when in the public. Accessing of Strive. Strive is a tool that the Department of Corrections use. It has all the information pertaining to an inmate. It has a level of security, which you would need when transferring an inmate. It has the inmate identification, any type scars, tattoo, about the inmate. Strive also will tell you what type procedure or what type appearance the inmate will be visiting today, whether it be court, hospital, it may have a surgery. It'll tell you when, what time of day it will be happening, and where the appointment is. Strive also tells the inmate's counselor, the medical, find any type of medical information you might need. It would even tell how much the inmate money the inmate has on his book. You will certainly want to know all these things before you take an inmate outside the institution, whether he's at escape risk or escape factor. Okay, the preparation of an inmate to go outside the prison to be transferred. You will inform the shift supervisor of what you're about to do. The shift supervisor will then inform the building supervisor that the inmate will be leaving the dorm, which he will be signed out on the roster and where he's going. We will locate the inmate. He may be in building B1, B2 inside the institution. We'll locate the inmate, identify him again, make sure the inmate has on a proper tie. Proper tie is inmate white with a blue stripe pants, white shirt, blue stripe in front shirt, with the inmate work boot. At this time, we'll get notify the supervisor, locate the inmate attire. Then we will make sure the inmate's property has been secured. While the inmates leave the institution, their property must be secured at all times. They must be inventoried and secured. While inmates are gone, other inmates tend to steal inmates' property, or they may take borrow. They call it borrow. But make sure the inmate's property is secured while he's out of the institution. Next, we'll take the inmate down to IDs, the identification room and processing, where we will strip search the inmate. During this strip search process, the inmate will take off all his clothes again, all the way down to nothing. It will be asked to open his mouth, raise his hands up above his head, lift up his scrotum. We will search the bottom of his feet, turn around. He will have to do a full body search. We will then search his shirts, his hems, his pants, all parts of his pants, and undergarments. It'll be a total body search. During this time, you can also notice any tattoo scars that Strive has talked about earlier. They will have any type tattoo scars. You will also look at the inmate, make sure you don't have any fresh tattoos. This is a good time to identify gang activity during this time. If he's got fresh tattoos that he didn't come into prison with, we will take note of this and put it into the Strive where other officers will see it when they get ready to transfer this inmate. After we get the inmate strip searched and back dressed, we will then prepare for transportation of the inmate. The transportation used to transport the inmate must be a white prison van. It must be stamped on all four sides and the top, state prison. It must have a metal cage inside the van. It must be totally secure so the inmate cannot gain freedom from the van. He should not have direct access to any glass, like to break out of a glass window in the van. Okay. Next, we will check the oil in the van, the gas in the van, check the tires. We will also shake the van down inside and outside to make sure no contraband has been placed on the van to help aid the inmate into escaping. We check on the seats, all compartments of the van. Next, after we looked in Stride, we see what level of security the inmate was. So therefore, we need to obtain the safety chains. These chains help secure the inmate have limited access while on transfer. He must have waist chains and leg iron. Waist chains will be secured all the way around the inmate's waist, where it's with a padlock on the back. In his front, and his hands will be secured to his waist at all times. He maybe can reach objects 6 inches away from him. He cannot be placed in chains behind his back. They must be in front in case of a front impact. Inmates must have leg irons on. This restricts their movement, any quick movements of their feet to get away during the process of an escape. Next, the loading of inmates. This is very important. Loading inmates into these vans, 13-passenger van, including the driver. You load from the front to rear. Starting the seat closer to the driver, load from the front, the middle to the rear. You want to distribute your weight in a way that it does not obstruct your view of the rear view mirror, and at the same time you do not want to have all your weight to one side of the van or the other. And most importantly, do not overload your vehicle. Overloading the vehicle causes the vehicle to be hard to maneuver, hard to control in traffic situations. Once you get your inmate loaded, before leaving the prison ground, you will obtain your weapons to provide security of the inmate while you're out on detail. Keep in mind the security of the public, your security, and the security of the inmate are your 3 main objectives while outside of the prison. Your weapons will be the Glock 40 or the 38. If you are using the Glock 40, you will have 3 magazines with a total of 15 rounds in each magazine for a total of 45. If you are using a 38 weapon, you will have a total of 24 rounds. Each, you will have 6 speed loaders, 4 speed loaders with 6 rounds in each speed loader. All weapons should be hot. When I say hot, it should be loaded and in the fire position. If you have more than 13 inmates, you must have the Glock or the 38 plus a 12 gauge shotgun. This is for if you have 13 or more inmates, and normally if you have 13 or more inmates, you will be on a 42-passenger bus. So if you take an inmate outside the prison, and if you have 13 or more inmates, you will have the Glock 40 and the 12 gauge for a total of 100 rounds while outside the prison. If you go into the hospital, you will have 1 weapon for 1 officer. If you go into court appearance, one officer will have 1 weapon. If you are transferring from prison to prison, you will have 2 weapons, 2 officers, 2 weapons, a total of 90 rounds. While out on the transfer, our next main objective is to drive safely. In state vehicles, the miles per hour is 55 miles per hour, loaded or unloaded. Obey the road signs of the road. And no HOV lanes. HOV lanes are the lanes for working class vehicles with 2 or more passengers. We do not use those lanes because